So Bailey Kinsley going 199.26 miles an hour in the 2017 GTR. That'll get him the early lead. Now we will qualify for 4 different classes here in this roll racing segment. So our top 8 will go into a category called the Elite 8. The next 16 will go in Unlimited. Next 16 will go in Super Sport. The final 16 will go in Sport. We have 150 cars registered. We have room for 56. So lay down a good lap and hope that it hangs on. The little Nissan 240 280Z, left side goes 118. Right side went 71 miles an hour through the speed trap. So Alexander Swanson will not get a usable slip out of that one. Left side, 118.35. And for Phil Stanley, probably he's not going to hold up. He's most likely going to have to come back and try it again. So you notice there is a small amount of water at the very rear of the staging area for roll race if cars want to do a burnout, be able to get their drag radials or slicks heated up. The Mustang driver on the left-hand side of the racetrack in the S550 chassis. He'll back up and get staged in the box. Again, that 70 mile an hour speed is oh so important because you want to be able to get close to it because it'll help you in being able to get the best speed out of the car versus starting at, say, 40 or 50 or even 60 miles an hour versus the flip side of things when you're a little above it and you want to make sure that you don't exceed it because especially right now, the air is cool and you definitely want the best run you can get while the air is where it is, because if you miss, you would hate to be looking at it later in the day and go, oh, I wish I could have made a run when it was 64 degrees outside and the corrected density altitude was about 1,000 feet, because as it continues to heat up, that air will have less oxygen content in it, which means less power at that same power level setting, and it means the car will not run as fast on speed. So waiting for the final staging process to be completed. And then left-hand side will get sent on their way. So folks, if you're curious about how the roll racing has gone in the past, last year, in order to get in the Elite 8, the top 8 speeds, you had to be above 219 miles an hour to qualify in the top 8. That's how fast they were running. So as I mentioned yesterday, we had 16 different cars go above 200 miles an hour. We had 5 cars that did it more than once. And it looks like the Mustang will get a dancing partner. I believe this is a Skyline Gen 1 GTR on the right-hand side of the racetrack. Looks like we are just about ready to send them on their way. So 199.26 is the speed to beat. Once again, drag racers and roll racers, tech is open. It is in the big white tent located next to the media center in the middle of the pit area. If you have not been through tech, you cannot go down the racetrack, and we don't want anybody to miss qualifying, so please go and get that taken care of as soon as possible. Just waiting on the all clear signal to be given so we can send our next pair down. Once again, folks, if those of you that are sitting here watching in the grandstands, we appreciate you being here on day number 4, day number 2 of competition as we had tested tune and qualifier number 1 yesterday. Tested tune for roll racing, qualifier number 1 for drag racing. Now we're in qualifying for roll racing. Here comes the Mustang. 57 miles an hour, so Quinn Perry, left-hand side, is good to go to the top end. The Mustang will go 169.81 miles an hour. Now here comes Luke Grenquist in the Skyline. And the Skyline having some issues as he will coast across. Literally 34 miles an hour, car literally just barely registering on the top end reflectors, and not sure what happened there, but just never came up to where he wanted it to be, so he decided not to abuse the parts and pieces, try to make a run to add heat to the system. Yeah, some of these are just absolutely crawling by, and then depending on what they're doing with the front ends of it, it could just give you a reading where the mile an hour is so low. So our next pair getting ready to go here, Jordan Cantor and Jacob Edwards. Cantor left side wheeling the Audi. And a little BMW on the right-hand side coming up, Jacob Edwards. And Edwards all the way down with the parachute out. I have not gotten speeds on them as of yet. And looks like car numbers 42 and 76. We need you to come back, please. 42 and 76. Need you back, please. Our next pair looks like we have a GTR and a Viper sitting at the ready line. The Viper will be on the right-hand side, the GTR on the left. Once again, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Roll racers, we will take you now. Roll racers, we will take you now. Lanes 9 and 10, please. Roll racers, we will take you now. Lanes 9 and 10. And left-hand side, you see the scoreboard flashing 77 miles an hour. That means that 195 run for Ryan Carruthers will not count. Right side, also too quick, 79.13 for De La Renta Brandon. And unfortunately, the twin-turbo Viper will also not get a good number on that one, 169.36, and both of those runs are disqualified for entering the speed box. That's where the cones are, just past the Christmas tree, above the 70 mile an hour threshold. So drivers, it would behoove you to make sure that you are under that 70 mile an hour threshold. Kenny Tran comes up left side. And Kenny enters too quick. 71.64. We'll see if right side can stay there. And based on what happened at the water box, my guess was it wasn't going to be, and it is not. So right side's going to make a full pull to 169, and it will not count either for Omar Sanchez. So drivers, again, it would be in your best interest, unless you like making the fun runs and knowing they won't count, to keep them under 70 miles an hour. We have now seen 4 straight cars that have been too fast when they enter the speed box. So again, please, please, please make sure you enter the speed box under 70 miles an hour.
Same thing we were doing yesterday, drivers. Below 70, 4 of you in a row just now went and didn't follow the rules. None of those runs count towards qualifying.
As our next pair waiting at the ready line. So Jency Finn, left-hand side, entered at 70.41. That is too fast. Right side, the GTR will actually count. Hangs on to the top. Will go 195.35 miles an hour on the Jag side. And Judge will get on the board, and it'll be a pair of GTRs currently leading the charge right now. 199.12 and 195.35 for the Juggernaut, the 2012 GTR that just went down the Jag side. Unfortunately, left-hand side, Jency too fast, so his run will not count. So Hector Tejada and Logan Epling next. Logan will go down left-hand side in the white R8. See if he can keep it there. And no, he will also be a tick too fast. Hector, can he keep it under control? Yes, he will. He'll keep it down to 59 miles an hour. And he is trucking down the Jag side. 197.92, and that will put Hector in the number 2 spot. So right now, a trio of GTRs 1, 2, and 3 on the qualifying sheets. 195 miles an hour for number 3, 197.92 now for number 2, 199.12 for the top spot. No doubt at some point they will get pushed out of those spaces as we get above 200 miles an hour. But drivers, you've got to keep them up under 70 when you enter that speed box. So many runs now have not been counted because they were too fast entering that speed box. Looks like the 316 speed car coming up next on the right-hand side. John Cretella out of Florida, the 2015 Huracan. Randy Jahal going down left side in the Viper, too quick on the entry. 188.28 will not count. Right side enters at 60.79, so John will get a legit time. 182.20 on the Jag side. That'll move him into the number 4 spot. Roll race drivers, when you report to the staging lanes, couple notes. Number 1, please have your safety gear on and you are ready to go, other than maybe a tire pressure adjustment, but other than that, you should be ready to go. 2, please make sure that you do not do any of your intercooler draining or ice filling when you come to the lanes. That should be done in your pit area before you arrive. We do not want any water deposited in the lanes. We do not want to keep anybody waiting because you are adding ice in the lanes. That should be done in your pit area, please. Joe Martinez and Clint Davis next. Florida going to be represented on the left. Texas represented on the right. Martinez, the 2020 Audi R8, gets the first crack at the speed box. And he will keep it under 59 miles an hour, so he's good left side. The twin turbo Mustang coming up behind him. He will go 62 across the middle, so he is good. 136.57 left-hand side. The Mustang will go 173 for Davis. So Davis will get into the top 5 for the moment. 173.32 for the Mustang. Pair of GTRs next, Orlando Gallegos and Julian Lopez. Left side enters the speed box at a good speed, so this run will count left side. 119 is getting out of it early. Right side enters too quick. 71.77 for Lopez, and that 190 mile an hour blast on the Jegs board will not count, as Lopez entered too fast at 71.77 miles an hour. Once again, drivers, please mind your speed. We would love for these runs to count, but if you go above 70.00 miles an hour, the threshold, these runs will not count. You'll be forced to come back. Roll racers, similar to what we did yesterday, we should be cutting in every hour or so to touch up the racetrack. So about every hour or so, we will cut in to have the SIG prep crew touch up the racetrack. Our next pair, another 316 speed car, the Lamborghini on the right-hand side. Left-hand side is a GTR. Jordan Chavez and Guillermo Suarez will be next. A pair of Florida-based cars. So Chavez left side. Enters the speed box good. Waits to the 330 to grab the power. Suarez coming down right-hand side. And will also stay good in the box. And can the Lambo lay down something good? 192.23 miles an hour on the right-hand side. Jordan going 176.76. And as I mentioned, the GTR waited until about the 330 mark before we saw it really start to pour the power on. So that could have easily been another 5 to 10 miles an hour quicker. Once again, roll racers, you are welcome to the lanes. Even if you have already made a pass or passes, roll racers, we will take you right back. Lanes 9 and 10, please, roll racers. We will take you back, lanes 9 and 10, please. Our next pair is staged up and ready. So 199.12. Our first pair out, the GTR, still sitting at the top. Our next pair on their way. Manny Costales, left side in the 2022 Huracan out of Plantation, Florida, and the trigger has been pulled. He is good on instant speed. Justin Green, Gardo Wick, the car that he's wheeling, the 2009 model GTR. Both of them enter the speed trap at a good number. 180.37 for the Lamborghini. 205.74 miles an hour. On the right-hand side for the GTR, Justin Green becomes your first car to punch through to 200 plus miles an hour, folks. That is what we wanted to see. So now he moves up to the top of the sheet. Our first of what should be several cars over 200 miles an hour here today at TX2K26, brought to us by Summit Racing Equipment. So Green sits atop the field. You see the track getting checked just to make sure everything is good. Once again, we are thankful enough to be joined by members from the International Association of Track Professionals of America. We thank all of them for being here to keep us safe. Take a look at the track conditions run after run. Make sure that no one is going down an unsafe surface. As you see, the red gate is open, and DeMarcus looks like he is holding something, so somebody might have had some weight reduction going down the racetrack right there. I don't think it was voluntary. I think it was involuntary. Hey, listen, sometimes you just find out that some things are just for show, and if you want to go above 200 miles an hour, they need to leave. Kevin Rodriguez and Joseph Bertino. Kevin enters the speed box at 60 miles an hour, so he's good. Joseph enters at 75, so the Corvette ZR1 on the right-hand side will not get a legit speed as he coasts across at 121 miles an hour. Now, Rodriguez's speed will count. 148.66 for the 2018 GTR out of North Carolina. Waiting on our next two to get staged up. Once again, roll racers, even if you have already made a pass or two, you're welcome to come right back to the lanes as soon as you want. Please make sure your intercooler work is done in the pit area, not in the staging lanes. We do not want any draining of fluids nor any filling of ice. When you come to the lanes, you should come suited up and ready to go. And folks, it bears to mention that we do have multiple vehicles that are doing both the roll racing and the drag racing, and that is not uncommon here at TX2K, as some drivers want to take full advantage of both sessions. Our next pair on their way. Khalid Al-Frey and Jaziel Murillo. Left side, 221.48 miles an hour. Khalid says, I'm gonna put my stamp on this one. Murillo follows at 190.34, not bad on either side, but folks, there is your new high mile an hour of the day, and it came early in the session. The 2014 GTR known as Maverick. Khalid now sits atop the sheet, 221.48. So the Texas-based GTR will lay claim to the top spot. The question is, for how long? So now we have two GTRs that have exceeded the 200-mile-an-hour speed zone. .205.74 for Justin Green, and Khalid going 221.48. Again, not unusual. Although the underground Lamborghinis did have their way with everything last year, we'll see what they do here in a little bit. Javier Maldonado, left-hand side, entering the speed box way too fast. 94.26. Can Marco? No. Marco Antunes also enters the speed box just a little too hot. And the GTR going 205, it will not count, as Marco entered just above the 70-mile-an-hour threshold. Left side caught it in time, and you saw them get out of the throttle. No need to abuse the equipment and put some heat in the motor that's unnecessary, because they knew they were gonna have to come back around. Right-hand side, Marco decided to run it out anyway after being 70.78 on the speed, which means his 205.78 will not count. And it looks like we have our first repeat customer, as Mike Jamies and Jency Finn come back around. Jency wheeling the beautiful Mark IV Supra. And Mike is behind the wheel of the BMW M8, the 2020 model. So folks, again, you are going to be watching roll racing here for the next, about 3-ish hours. We will do some track prep in between each hour. But again, some of these cars you'll see make multiple hits, trying to tune the power up and stay in the field. You have to qualify in the top 56 to run in eliminations. Now, there are a few cars that we might substitute, depending on if we have any broken cars. Jency, 68 miles an hour, and Jency will work this one. The Supra to the top end left side goes 188.45, so that will count. Mike, following in the BMW, will go 156.93, but he entered at 70.53, so just a tick too quick. Peter and I are kind of looking at each other like, I thought we had this all figured out yesterday. Like, we started out with some vehicles kind of hot, but then everybody had started to run next to each other. Everybody had started to figure out the speed box, and seeing a whole bunch of good runs that unfortunately will not count on the qualifying sheet. As again, that 70-mile-an-hour threshold must be maintained when you come across. We need to keep everybody on a level playing field for your run to be able to count. So folks, again, this will be the only qualifying session for roll racing. We have a 4-hour block set aside for them. And then we will take our final 56 and get them ready for eliminations tomorrow. Alexander Rodriguez, left side, driving the Audi. Stayed under 70, went 61, but you heard the car come up on the speed and then have a problem. The twin turbo Viper known as proper, that's Delarina Brannon. And Brannon going down the jag side will go 164.19 for the Viper. And De La Renta Brannon out of Texas with the Viper will go onto the qualified sheet. Unfortunately, Alexander has problems. Entered the speed trap okay, but the car does not shift. And so that 58 mile an hour on the left-hand side will not help. So most likely they will come back. Our next pair getting pulled into position, another Mark IV Supra and a Lamborghini will line up against each other. Looks like we have another one of the cars out of the 316 Speed Camp in Florida. And a little bit of nitrous being wicked on the GTR on the right side. Most likely to help spool the turbo instantaneously. Just waiting on the all clear signal. You see the 70 mile an hour threshold on the scoreboard. Now here they come. Felix Felibello. And a lot of smoke out of that car after going above. That's 70 miles an hour. Will not count, and a whole lot of smoke out of the Lamborghini. That one is going to slow us down, and you see the Mark IV Supra was way into the throttle, saw all that smoke, and immediately clamped on the brakes, and we appreciate that, but that one looks like it might have just toasted an engine. As Fabello went across the speed box at 71.90, that means the run wouldn't count, and still went ahead and was airing it out, and when the smoke started to pop, we'll watch it one more time here on the Flow Instant Replay from the top end of the racetrack. You see right about there as they get past the quarter-mile mark and then the smoke really starts to bellow. We saw a tiny little puff earlier in the run, obviously lifting to go 153, but as I mentioned, just a whole lot of smoke that you see there on the Flow Racing Replay. And as it continues to come out of the car after it stops, unless by some miracle that is from something like lifting a cylinder head, that is most likely death smoke, and that probably could be the last run. You see that Felix gets out of the car and just kind of lays his head, and thankfully the driver is out and okay, but that one might have just toasted an engine. So we are going to be on hold for a minute while the Texas Motorplex and TX2K officials are down there at the top end to tell us what they see. If we just need a push and there is no fluid, we should be back underway relatively quickly, but I see the tractors rolling, so we might want to touch up that left-hand side just a little bit. So, folks, it looks like we will have at least just a few minutes of touch-up work done here as we continue in our first qualifying session. So, again, if you would like to stretch your legs real quick,
At MotorState Distributing, the standard is simple. The right parts from the brands builders trust. For more than 60 years, our team has helped keep the industry moving. Working alongside brands like Holley, from garages to racetracks across the country. All of it moving forward and fueling passion.
We drive tech. We drive the industry. Going beyond the limits and advancing forward. a versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
When you use Hot Shot's secret oil and fuel additives, you get decades worth of cutting-edge innovation. Innovation that saves you money and maximizes efficiency and performance. Hot Shot's secret started with a mission to solve one engine problem. Today, we have solutions for all kinds of common issues that impact your bottom line. From our world-class lab to your cars, trucks, and equipment, Hot Shot's secret is powered by science.
Redline oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me. Formulated to win, proven by me.
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 Formulated to win, proven by me.
At Motor State Distributing, the standard is simple. The right parts from the brands builders trust. For more than 60 years, our team has helped keep the industry moving. Working alongside brands like Holley, from garages to racetracks across the country, all of it moving forward and fueling passion.
All right, while we are on cleanup duty on the left-hand side, and we Fine folks from the IATPA is out there taking care of left-hand side. Once again, tech is open. Tech is open. So roll racers or drag racers, if you have not been through tech inspection yet, tech is open. It is at the white tent located next to the media center in the middle of the pit area. Please make sure you bring all your safety gear with you. Roll racers, whether you have made a run, made 2 runs, or made 0 runs, we will take you back at this time. Roll racers. Lanes are open for you. We'll take you to lanes 9 and 10 to start. Again, please come to the lanes suited up, ready to go, because as of right now, we have a small number of cars. We want to put you right in the box and get you down the racetrack. Top speed right now, 221.48. That is the number to beat. All right, racers, looks like we're getting a little bit closer to being ready to go on the left side of the racetrack as the Zamboni has been parked and the tractor's down there working on things a little bit, trying to get everything touched up. All right, racers, listen up, please. We are just about ready to go back racing again. So, racers, we're going to do one more up and back, and because of the cleanup work, this will also count as our touch-up that we mentioned earlier that is going to get done every hour. So the SIG Prep team out there making sure that both lanes of the racetrack are in great shape. Obviously, we only needed to do the cleanup on the left side, but went ahead and touched up the right-hand side to make sure everything is good. So as soon as we go back hot again, as I mentioned, drivers, please make sure when you report that you have all your safety gear in place so we can put you right in the queue and right in the box ready to go. Racers, at the current time, roll racing will close at the rear of the lanes between 1:30 and 1:45. We'll run out what remains, and then that will assemble our roll race qualifying sheet. Again, the top 56 qualifiers will get a chance to go to play the next day. Now, if for some reason you qualify in the top 56 and your car is broken and you know you cannot make repairs in time for tomorrow, we need you to come to the second floor of the tower, room number 208, and let us know immediately so we can adjust the ladder and put in an alternate if necessary. So again, if you qualify in the top 56 and you know for certain that you will not be able to get it fixed in time for eliminations tomorrow, starting in the morning, we need you to come to room 208 immediately and let us know so that way we can get an alternate plugged in your place before we release the sheets. It'll help to have a more complete field, as we realize that some people run into things on race day. But obviously, if we bring out more or at the number of 56 cars tomorrow for roll race eliminations, it makes for better excitement, it makes for closer racing, and the fans, as well as those that are watching us on FloRacing, get to enjoy it more. So we appreciate your help with that. And once again, for those of you that are in the grandstands and watching on FloRacing right now, thank you for your patience. We appreciate it, as the cleanup work from the Lamborghini led into our 1 hour touch-up, and we will do that every hour. So we will have another one at about noontime, and that's to touch up both sides of the racetrack to make sure that the grip is there and everything is clean. There are no marbles or anything on the racetrack, little bits of rubber. So everybody could safely transition the 1,320 feet to be able to get the best run they can to get qualified in one of those 56 spots for eliminations tomorrow. Once again, roll race drivers, when you come to the staging lanes, as I mentioned, a couple things to keep in mind. One, please come prepared. Please come suited up and ready. Two, no intercooler work should be happening in the staging lanes, and that's not just the roll racers, but that's the drag racers as well. No intercooler work should be taking place in the staging lanes, meaning no draining of water, no adding of ice, unless you're there for, I want to say, an extended period of time, which is going to be more drag racing than roll racing, but your intercooler system. The 171 on the left side won't count. The GTR, Nick Booth, laying down one. And he will go 197. It looks like, nope, excuse me, 137. I thought it said 197. It sure looked like it was moving. But 137.64 for the GTR out of Colorado. So that will be a legit speed on the Jag side, but unfortunately, I highly doubt that's going to get him into the top 56. All roll racers need you back to your cars, please. We are trying to get cars moved out of the staging lanes and into the box. We have several drivers that are not at their vehicles. Roll racers, back to your cars immediately. Roll racers, back to your cars immediately. And as Peter just said, please, 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 keep them under 70 miles an hour. We would love to be able to actually see all the speeds count. You need to do your job. Keep that speedo under 70. Next pair, Zach Westrom, Jacob Edwards. Edwards coming back around to the BMW for his second shot. You saw the car make a violent launch move, but something must have happened as he is limping it down the racetrack. The Viper, the snowmobile. That's what Zach Westrom calls his Iowa-based Viper, down the Jag side. 211.52, or excuse me, 92. 211.92 miles an hour. I thought I saw a correction there. So 211 with both chutes out on the Viper. That moves Zach into the number 2 spot with the Viper. Great run there for the snowmobile out of Iowa, Granger to be exact, the 2014 twin-turbo Viper, laying down 211.92. That becomes our third car over 200 miles an hour with a good entrance speed. And Zach will have a good shot of making one of the 2 top fields, my guess would be. Left side, Dylan Dollard driving the Red Dragon, the Mustang Shelby. 174.07. And Clint Davis now giving chase in his Shelby, and he has problems. You heard it make the 2-3 shift, and then 3-4 was not on the agreements list. As both of them entered the speed trap under 68 miles an hour, so both speeds count. Dollars 174.07 in the 2020 Shelby out of Texas will count. That's a good speed. Unfortunately for Clint Davis, his Texas-based 2020 Shelby on the right side did not behave itself. So he will have to come back and try again. So far, Khalid Arafi and Zach Weston, number 1 and 2. Khalid sitting at 221.48. Zach going 211.92. Justin Green is in number 3 at 205.74. Folks, you want to pay attention to this one. Kevin Howitt, the Lamborghini Huracan, 1 of 2 out of the Howitt family that absolutely decimated everything last year. And he is just a tick too fast. He's going to make the run anyway. 229.53, and it does not count. The chutes are not out, but it looks like he's going to get it stopped in time, and he is going to hate to get that time slip. As he entered the speed trap, 0.78 miles an hour too much, and that 229 that would have been a number 1 qualifier will not count. Last year, Kevin and KC absolutely ran roughshod over the roll race side. 235 in qualifying, 246 in eliminations. So Howitt at 229.53 will not count. We'll have to wait and see them come back. I would not like to be at the time slip booth when I hand that ticket over. Once again, to everybody that is watching on the FloRacing feed, thank you so much for tuning in to join us. I'm getting some screenshots. Gerson, thank you for checking in with me this morning. I appreciate it. He was checking in with me last year and staying up on all the roll racing action. I know he's watching today. Sent me a screenshot. Thank you so much for watching the feed, sir. Also, I found out that not only is Nick Larson watching with his now 1-year-old kid that debuted on the FloRacing feed last year, and the literally just born, and he was making sure he didn't miss any of the racing action, but now I have learned that the Josh Lappins is also tuned in. Tony Espindola having all kinds of problems with the Mustang. He just rolled through the speed trap at 46 miles an hour. Looks like he's starting to get in the throttle a little bit. He'll go 102 in the back half. Now David Perlman, the Lamborghini, was going to try and make up for it. There we go, folks. That's what we wanted to see. 209.92 miles an hour for David Perlman in the Florida-based Lamborghini Huracan. That'll move him into the number 3 spot. So now 4 cars have gone above the 200-mile-an-hour barrier. We've had 5. Unfortunately, one of them was just a tick too fast entering the speed box. And look who's coming up next. Miles Kerr in the recently revamped Acura Integra, the ETS-backed hot rod out of Washington. He'll be in the right-hand lane on our next matchup. We saw him yesterday in drag racing as well, the all-wheel drive stick shift car that has done quite well here at TX2K in years past. Also saw him at the all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive shootout that Cletus McFarland held not too long ago. And here comes our next pair of hot rods. Luke Carlisle left side, driving the New Mexico-based Audi. He's good. And now here comes Miles. 198.63 for Luke. Miles rolling in Gringo Tegra. And he will go 198.29 for Miles Kerr with the chute way, way out in the back. And Gringo Tegra laying down a good number. 198-mile-an-hour blast, side by side, folks. That'll solidly seat them in the top 10 for the moment. I want to say, I think that's our first side-by-side 190-mile-an-hour blast. Our opening speed of 199.12, I said that would last for a little while, and it did. Still a chance that might go into the number 2 field, possibly number 3. Here comes Curtis Adams left side. Chris Kreider on the right-hand side. Adams wheeling the Audi, and the Audi will go 211.18 miles an hour. Now Chris Kreider in the Mustang right side. The Shelby will go 149.86 for the Texas-based Shelby Mustang. So Curtis Adams becomes our number 5 car to go over 200 miles an hour with a good entrance speed, and the Texas-based Audi will go into the top 5. He will actually sit in the number 3 spot, bumping David Perlman to number 4. Left side looks like they're going a little quick, and they are. 80.21, and Annabelle Bambua will not count on the 208 blast. And that's a shame. Luke Granquist driving the Skyline, looking like he's having some issues here. And we'll coast across at 94 miles an hour. So Annabelle, unfortunately, having problems of the fact that over 10 miles an hour too fast on the entrance speed. That means that 208.03 mile an hour blast will not count. Next pair on their way. Jordan Cantor, left-hand side. Jordan at 60 miles an hour, using up a lot of his lane, tries to hang on to it. 219.18 miles an hour for the Audi. Now, Casey Howitt. Could we get a new number 1? Casey laid down some very impressive runs last year. 230.32, folks. That's your new number 1 qualifier. Put your hands together for KC and the Howitt Underground Racing Team. That is your new number 1 speed. 230 and side by side 200 mile an hour blasts once again. We're going to look at that one more time here. So KC, who, along with Kevin, just absolutely decimated the record book last year. That yellow Underground Racing car just absolutely rolling. I mean, staying right in the lane, nice and clean. 230.32. And that will go to the number 1 spot. Here comes our next pair. The Corvette left side, Ismael Martinez. He enters at 65, so this run will be good. And Sergio sounded like he might be leaning a little high, but he got it tamed down in time. 179.51 for the Corvette left side, and Sergio De La Torre unfortunately has problems and slows to 120.61. You heard it going down the racetrack. It was in full tilt, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. Something obviously not staying in the right spot, and easily gets out of the gas early. So Martinez in the Texas-based hot rod left-hand side, the Corvette making a 179.51 mile an hour blast. It was a good one. Ricardo Espinosa, and is a little too fast, 71.27. Brandon Fruzia on the Jag side. Can he keep it under 70? He will, 67 miles an hour, the red Mark IV Supra. Out of Texas, can he lay down something good? He will, 187.5 miles an hour for the red Supra on the right side of the racetrack. So unfortunately, the left-hand side was a little too fast. Right-hand side was good, and 187.50 should get him into the second or third field. So we saw Kevin Howitt go 229.53 miles an hour in the blue Underground Racing Lamborghini. KC came in and delivered the shot to go to the #1 qualifying spot. So 230.32 is the new mark to beat. 221 is in #2. And Jordan Cantor with the R8 Audi is in #3 at 219. So we have 3 different car platforms represented. Casey Howitt with the Lamborghini Huracan Twin Turbo in the #1 spot. Khalid Al-Rafi in the 2014 GTR in #2. And Jordan Cantor, the 2022 Audi R8 in #3. The slow speed of the top 3 is 219.18 miles an hour currently. Would not be surprised if that changes, folks. As of right now, we have had 7 cars that have made a lap above 200 miles an hour on a clean start. Our next 2 getting staged up and ready. This will be a Lamborghini versus GTR matchup. And again, even though you are matching up next to an opponent, it's really all about you and your lane and what you can lay down. The Lambo on its way. Dom Summers, 61 miles an hour, so it's good. This top end speed will count. 177.54. And it looks like Mo is having problems on the right-hand side in the Mark IV. For some reason, you know, it's not uncommon to see a lot of these cars getting on a 2-step chip, or what they would call launch control, to be able to get the turbos spooled up. So as soon as they let go of launch control, the car launches with full boost. But Mo, unfortunately, having all kinds of issues with the very clean Mark IV Supra. And the Horsepower Lounge car will have to come back as he just goes through the finish line at 32. Well, 32 is actually his entrance speed. 30 miles an hour is his exit speed. So the 177 for Dom Summers will count the Lamborghini Huracan. That might get him into the field. It's going to be pretty close to determine how good we're actually going to be there. Luis Padilla and Julio Vantin. Our next matchup, left side at 52 miles an hour in the speed box. That means this speed will count, 179.67. Julio on the right side in the Mustang. Didn't enter the speed box good. The GT500 Shelby to the back door. We'll go 147.42 miles an hour. So Padilla, I would say, has the better chance to qualify. 147 is down a good ways from what we normally see in the roll race section. Now, there have been years where something like that would possibly slide in if we had some breakage in the top half of the field. So we'll see what comes of it. But again, every run counts. And again, drivers, if for whatever reason you have a problem and you break on a run, you need to let us know upstairs as soon as possible, because if you know you can't get it fixed in time for eliminations tomorrow and your speed that you recorded on your run is good enough to qualify, we would love to plug an alternate into your spot so we can actually have pairings. Oscar Morales, Cameron Fisher. Fisher driving the Mustang left side. And he will not get a good run on this one, 70.78, but he's going to leg it anyway. 205.61 miles an hour, and he is going to not be a happy camper when he gets the time slip. Oscar Morales, the GTR, 204.77 on the Jake side. The car known as Miami's fastest street car from Pembroke Pines, Oscar Morales becomes our latest 200-plus mile an hour participant. As 204.77 will get him above the double century mark. So it looks like we will have a pair of Audi R8s next. The first one is Joe Martinez. Joe out of Plantation, Florida. He enters the speed box good. And to the top end for Martinez, 172.19. Wes Thaxton in the Las Vegas-based Audi has problems. And the Jake side will coast out the back door to 97.18 miles an hour. So Martinez with a good lap, 172.19 in the 2020 Audi R8 out of Florida. I'd say 172, based on last year's numbers, would be in danger of not qualifying. But again, it is very early in the session, so we cannot say for certain where we will be. But again, it is not uncommon to have the top two out of four fields, sometimes into the third field, all above 200 miles an hour. Fabricio Cordoba, left side, driving the twin-turbo Viper. He gets a good start. We'll go 198.43 miles an hour now. Hector Garcia driving the GTR based in Texas. Still in the throttle, and he will go 195.01 miles an hour. Folks, I got to tell you, from looking at the live feed, the FloRacing top end shots where you see the cars come by at over 195 miles an hour with the parachutes out, it is a cool sight to check out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I am a little bit jealous of everybody that is sitting out there in the bright Texas sun watching these cars come by, so you can literally have all the senses, the race fuel, the exhaust, the tire smoke for some of them that are doing little cleanup burnouts, and then hearing two cars at full song come by you and watch them rocket down an all concrete quarter mile. Justin Sherman, Zachary Tucker next. Sherman left side, driving the GTR based out of Montana. He entered at 72.53 miles an hour, so the 195 will not count. And Tucker, not even close, 85 miles an hour. And the Viper 208.27 for Zachary Tucker. So neither one will be able to capitalize. Neither of those runs will count. Despite the fact you see some good numbers on the scoreboard, both of them were accomplished by entering the speed box above 70 miles an hour, which means neither one will count. They are both disqualified. Again, the speed box just past the 60-foot mark. You must, and I do mean must, enter at 70.00 miles an hour or less. If you do not, the run is not allowed. Now, during qualifying, you are not eliminated. It means you just come back around and try it again. If you do it during eliminations, you get a strike. You do twice, you're disqualified and you are out of the event. Alexander Rodriguez coming back around for another shot. This one will be good as he entered at 57 miles an hour to the top end. 204.43 miles an hour. Now Mark Blackwell, the California-based Lamborghini. Can he lay down something solid? He will indeed. 211.47. Another side-by-side 200-plus mile-an-hour blast from the Audi R8 out of Florida left side. The California-based Lamborghini on the right-hand side. Both of them laying down something solid. And now, folks, 10 cars have qualified above 200 miles an hour. Next car down left side, Hussein Farouz. And Mark James will be coming down right side. Left side way, way too quick. And that 208 blast will not count as he went through the speed box at 81 miles an hour. Mark James also too fast at 75 miles an hour. And a side-by-side 200-mile-an-hour lap, neither one will count. They are both way too fast entering the speed box. Both of those drivers will get that time slip and literally want to throw up in their helmet. So Hussein Faraz and Mark James, neither one will count as they entered above the 70-mile-an-hour threshold, which means no good. You hear the burnout happening in the pre-staging area, trying to get the tires warmed up on the Mark IV Supra. Once again, roll race cars, we will take you back whether you have made a run or not already. We will take you back lanes 9 and 10, please. Sounds like our next pair are just about ready. Sterling Moss and Jamie Gutierrez. Sterling in the super left side, based out of Texas, and a lot of smoke. Still rolling anyway. And we'll go 172.63, but we're gonna have to hop the wall and take a quick look at that. Jamie in the GTR out of Utah will go 192.32 miles an hour. To be about almost 20 miles an hour higher than Sterling's Texas-based Supra. So they're going to check that left-hand side after we saw the smoke going down the almost entirety of the run.
Why do you think basketball is like it's not intramural freaking hockey?
Kenny Tran coming back around. Good on the entrance speed. To the top end for Kenny. 187.51 miles an hour, right-hand side. Juan Fernandez was on a decent lick, but had to get out of it early, and the GTR gets regulated to only 112 miles an hour. Was rolling along pretty solidly, and then you saw right about the 1,000-foot mark, something definitely happened where he stepped off the loud pedal and did not like what he saw.
I think they'd be able to get some basketball players, or at least get the Florida rejects.
Once again, roll racers, listen up, please. Roll racers, listen up, please. As I mentioned before, whether you have made a run or not, you are welcome to come right back to lanes 9 and 10. But when you come, please make sure that you are completely suited up and ready, and make sure all your intercooler work, draining and or adding of ice, is done already. Chris Knapp, Jason Patton. Knapp left side, GTR goes 138 right side. Right next to that center line, but we'll hang on to it and go 199.59 for Jason Patton out of Colorado. Oh, so close to that double century mark. Jason Patton makes a nice clean lick, and that will most likely get him qualified. But oh, so close. He'll get that time slip and probably go, oh man, really? We were that close? I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a very solid speed. But when you are less than half a mile an hour away from the double century zone, you're left wanting. Another pair of Audi R8s waiting in the box. Mario Noah, left-hand side, the Audi R8 going 200.75 miles an hour now. Defending Lamb will go 177.74 in the Audi R8 on the right-hand side. So, Inona joining us on the 200-mile-an-hour list. I believe that brings us up to 11 cars now above 200 miles an hour.
How about that? He plays Boogie Flynn. Alex Condon, he's pretty good. Yeah, I did it when I was shooting 2 cars at the same time. That's right. I was able to do that with AI and shoot 2 cars at the same time.
Cesar Savignon and Mike Jamex. Whoa, baby! Left-hand side came around, and I hope right side looks. Getting all over the brakes, and it looks like they will get stopped in time. Wow. Cesar came just past the 330 mark, and the Lamborghini just instantly spun out. I'm not sure what might have happened. I'm waiting to find out. Condition on the driver. Stand by, folks. And Cesar is out of the car, folks. Put your hands together. Driver is out of the car. That is the important thing. Obviously, we hate to see the damage, but the good news, the driver out of the car, that is the most important thing. You see the Texas Motorplex crew immediately attending to him. He is wearing all the gear, including the Hans device and his helmet. Let's take another look at it on FloRacing. Here he comes out of the speed box. You'll see him start to roll into the power right there at the 330. The car just instantly loses traction, and you see it where he is just along for the ride at that point. Now, I don't know whether it was just the car just had too much power for that point in the racetrack, or he might have gotten something underneath the tires, but either way, thankfully, the damage was not worse, and Cesar was able to get out of the car and be okay. He is over there talking to the TX2K officials. You see Peter come over there and hug him. And again, this is the thing, folks, when we come out here originally to start out and make laps, it's all about being in a safe environment, doing it with your friends. And the thing is that the racing family truly does become your second family, and that's why we all want to check on each other. So one more look here on FloRacing. Again, you see right there as they slow it down, as soon as the rear end comes out from underneath the car, I mean, at that point, you're going almost 100 miles an hour, and Cesar is, again, just basically along for the ride. You see that everything is just on the brake pedal, and there's nothing he can do at that point, because once the car starts going sideways, it's just hang on and hope that you don't hit much more. And thankfully, once it had tapped the wall in a couple places, it pushed the car out in the middle of the racetrack, and he was able to get away from everything. And other than a couple of foam blocks, the car came to a rest right about the 8th mile mark. So we're going to be on hold for a little bit, folks, while we do some cleanup work. And again, making sure that CR is okay. As you see, the medical staff is down there, so they may want to give him just a preliminary check to make sure, because when you get into something like that, your head can really bounce around a lot. They want to make sure that the driver is A-okay. So, you know, him being out and talking to everybody, that could be pure adrenaline at that point, but the medical staff will want to take another look at him. And again, the Texas Motorplex crew, along with the TX2K crew, out there immediately to take care of him. And again, they are second to none. That is the reason why we value not just what you do on the racetrack, but also keeping all the drivers safe here.
At Motor State Distributing, the standard is simple. The right parts from the brands builders trust. For more than 60 years, our team has helped keep the industry moving. Working alongside brands like Holley, from garages to racetracks across the country, all of it moving forward and fueling passion.
We drive tech. We drive the industry, going beyond the limits and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see fuel tech everywhere.
When you use Hot Shot's secret oil and fuel additives, you get decades worth of cutting-edge innovation. Innovation that saves you money and maximizes efficiency and performance. Hot Shot's secret started with a mission to solve one engine problem. Today, we have solutions for all kinds of common issues that impact your bottom line. From our world-class lab to your cars, trucks, and equipment, Hot Shot's secret is powered by science.
Redline oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me. Formulated to win, proven by me.
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 Formulated to win, proven by me.
At Motor State Distributing, the standard is simple. The right parts from the brands builders trust. For more than 60 years, our team has helped keep the industry moving. Working alongside brands like Holley, from garages to racetracks across the country, all of it moving forward and fueling passion.
Hey, wait. For one moment, one shot, and in about 3.5 seconds, it's over.
The Redline Oil PD-R8 Drag Racing Series comes to Darlington Dragway, March 25th or 28th. The KTR PD-R8 Carolina Nationals, presented by PD Fleet. The most extreme pro mods on Earth. Get your tickets now and don't miss a second. See it, hear it, feel it. PD-R8.
Race fans, listen up. It's going to be about 30 minutes before we're back to racing again. So if you're in the stands, go check out our sponsor display booths. Go mingle with all the sponsors here. Go check out the cars and the pits. You have time.
Once again, all our spectators and everybody still watching on Flow, thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate it. This is one of those things where, again, thankfully, the driver is okay. Got checked out. It's just going to take us a little bit of time to get everything cleaned up. But trust me, we've got some of the best people on the racetrack possible. And we appreciate them all being part of TX2K26 so we can get back underway here as quickly as we can, because we got a whole bunch of roll racers that want to make laps, and we got a whole bunch of drag racers that want to follow them. So as soon as we are ready to go once again, we'll give you a heads up.